Okay, let's dive right into this incredible evolution of Google Notebook LM. In this explainer, we're going to explore how what started as a really humble kind of experimental tool has completely revolutionized the way we interact with our information. We're talking about a fundamental shift here, going from a passive tool that essentially just stores your notes, right, into a fully autonomous, active assistant that actually does the heavy lifting for you. Honestly, if you've ever felt completely overwhelmed by the sheer volume of data, the endless PDFs, and the articles you're supposed to process every single day, well, you're definitely going to want to pay close attention to what's coming next.
So here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll meet Google Notebook LM. Then we'll look at the massive AI update, dive into your secure cloud computer, check out some real-world power moves, and finally discuss bridging the AI gap. Section 1. Meet Google Notebook LM, the powerful baseline of AI research. You know, about 3 years ago, this actually started out as a simple Google Labs experiment with one beautifully simple goal. You feed it your stuff, and it helps you understand your own files faster. It was basically designed to be your ultimate research partner.
And the scale of that research partner? 50. Today, you can upload up to 50 incredibly diverse sources straight into a single notebook. We're talking about all that messy stuff. The weirdly formatted PDFs, copied text, random Google Docs, Markdown files, even YouTube videos. You just drop the whole shebang into the centralized hub, and instantly, Notebook LM creates this unified, highly searchable knowledge base that you can quite literally have a conversation with.
And honestly, here is where its core magic really shines. It's a feature they call audio overviews. Instead of just handing you a dry text summary of those 50 dense PDFs you uploaded, Notebook LM autonomously generates an interactive, podcast-style discussion. You can actually listen to two AI hosts break down your specific research. It completely turns heavy, boring material into a super engaging conversation. You can even customize it, tweaking it to target a specific audience, anywhere from total beginners to absolute experts. But here's the real paradigm shift. Think about the old Notebook LM for a second. You had to show up completely organized. You needed all your sources perfectly curated and ready before you could even touch the tool, and then it gave you summaries. But the new version? It's a total game changer. You can start with an entirely blank page and just a loose idea bouncing around in your head. It will autonomously search the web, pull in rock-solid, properly cited sources for you, and actually build completely finished files from scratch. Section 2. The massive AI update. Gemini 3.5 and the anti-gravity engine. So this brings us to the absolutely biggest update in the tool's 3-year history, which is exactly what made that massive shift possible. The engine running this whole new show is driven entirely by Google's newest model family, Gemini 3.5. But you know, the brain isn't the only thing that got an upgrade here.
The absolutely crucial point here is something called anti-gravity. Anti-gravity is Google's proprietary coding tool. It's literally the exact same engine their own software teams use to build real products. And Google took this powerhouse engine and wired it straight into Notebook LM. So what does that mean for us? It means the AI stops just guessing at math and starts calculating it for real, literally writing and executing its own code behind the scenes.
Section 3. Your secure cloud computer. Unlocking autonomous task execution. Let's see how this unlocks the most fascinating feature of the entire update. Seriously, this is something you might have completely missed if you just skimmed the tech headlines. Google is essentially giving you your very own secure cloud computer.
Think of it like this. Your notebook gets its own tiny, totally locked-down laptop. It's an isolated virtual machine dedicated strictly to your specific notebook. Why is that absolutely crucial? Privacy and accuracy. Your highly sensitive customer data, maybe your private coaching call transcripts, or your messy internal sales numbers, they're all crunched on a lockdown machine that only your notebook can touch. It never mixes your data with anyone else's while it's running its code.
And because it has this incredibly secure computer, the outputs it can generate now are wild. We aren't just talking about a generic paragraph of text anymore. It can output beautifully formatted PDFs, fully built spreadsheets with all the complex formulas already in place, and even ready to present slide decks. It even hooks directly into Google's Nano Banana image tool to generate visual charts for you. Basically, this completely replaces the 3 or 4 different apps you used to juggle just to clean your data, build a chart, and write an executive summary. Now, it's just one ask all in one place. I mean, it completely overhauls your entire workflow. First, you just open a blank notebook with a loose question. Second, Notebook LM does all the frustrating legwork to search the web and compile cited sources. It can even dig up context from different countries or languages if you ask it to. And third, It generates that finished, totally formatted output file. You're going from a vague thought to a polished presentation without ever having to leave the tab.
Section 4. Real-world power moves, transforming messy data into actionable insights. Let's look at exactly how this technology gets applied in the real world. Because hey, having a secure cloud computer is great and all, but knowing what to actually feed it is where the real magic happens.
So here are a few brilliant ways you can use this literally today. You could upload a whole year's worth of daily journal entries and have it analyze your emotional patterns over time. You can turn your LinkedIn profile into a PDF and ask it to map out an entire career development strategy for you. Or, okay, take this travel prep example. This is so cool. Say you're heading to the Italian Grand Prix in Monza. You just drop in a travel guide and a beginner's Italian course, and NotebookLM autonomously combines them to give you contextual phrases and cultural tips specifically tailored for your trip. You could even dump in hours of chaotic, rambling coaching call transcripts and have it instantly extract a clean, one-page FAQ document for your community.
This is where the true power lies, transforming the messy into the highly manageable. If you handed an older AI a massive spreadsheet of international sales numbers with all sorts of different currencies and date formats, it might hallucinate the math, right? But NotebookLM autonomously writes the code to standardize those currencies, does the actual, factual math, and spits out a unified visual chart and a written report. Hand it a dense, incredibly boring technical spec sheet, and it hands you back a super simple onboarding guide and a slide deck that your team will actually want to read. It saves hours, literally hours of manual alignment.
Section 5. Bridging the AI gap, the widening divide in modern productivity. And this leads us to a really essential point. Every single time an update like this drops, it completely reshapes what productivity even looks like.
The gap between the folks who leverage these tools daily and those who don't is widening incredibly fast, especially for small businesses where, one person is doing 5 different jobs. But the barrier to entry, it's practically non-existent. You can jump into the standard tier for absolutely free right now. And if you find yourself needing more horsepower, the Google AI Pro plan is $19.99 a month. That unlocks 5 times the capability for those amazing audio overviews, gives you advanced chat analytics, and dramatically increases your usage limits. So as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with one final question to mull over. Take a look at your desk, or, look at the incredibly cluttered folders on your desktop. What messy, absolutely dreaded task are you going to hand over to your secure cloud computer tomorrow? The tools are literally sitting right there, just waiting for your instruction. Dive in, experiment a little, and let the AI do the heavy lifting for you.